Reports on Sunday indicate that Iran's supreme leader, Ali Khamenei, has been killed. If confirmed, this marks the most significant political shock to the Islamic Republic since the 1979 revolution. The Khamenei has stood at the apex of Iran's power structure for more than 3 decades. His removal does not simply leave a vacancy, it activates a constitutional mechanism that will determine how authority is redistributed across the system. The question now is not only who succeeds him, but how the balance of power shifts inside one of the Middle East's most tightly controlled states. Under Iran's constitution, the next supreme leader is selected by the Assembly of Experts. This is an 88-member body of Islamic jurists. They are publicly elected, but all candidates are vetted by the system itself. Formally, the process is clear. The assembly convenes. Candidates are reviewed. A new supreme leader is appointed, or if consensus cannot be reached, a temporary leadership council may be formed. But in practice, key decisions are shaped well beyond the chamber floor. The most decisive actor behind the scenes is the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, or IRGC. The IRGC is not merely a military institution. It is a political power center and an economic conglomerate with deep control over strategic industries, from energy to construction. The supreme leader is formally commander-in-chief. But in reality, the relationship has been mutually reinforcing. Religious legitimacy on one side, coercive power on the other. In a leadership vacuum, the IRGC's alignment could determine how quickly and how smoothly the transition unfolds. Iran's president, Masoud Pezeshkian, heads the government and oversees economic and administrative policy. But unlike many Western heads of state, the Iranian president does not control the armed forces, the judiciary, or key security institutions. In a succession crisis, the presidency provides continuity, but not ultimate authority. The core struggle remains concentrated within the clerical and security establishment. 3 categories of successors are being discussed. First, senior clerics with strong theological credentials and institutional loyalty. Second, political clerical hybrids, figures such as former President Ibrahim Raisi, who combined judicial authority with executive experience. Third, the possibility of dynastic continuity through Mojtaba Khamenei. Though any perception of hereditary succession could provoke internal resistance. This decision is not just about personality. It will define the ideological and strategic direction of the Islamic Republic after its most dominant leader in modern history. So far, there are no confirmed reports of widespread unrest. Security forces remain visible in Tehran. State media signals continuity and calm. But historically, Iran's most consequential negotiations happen behind closed doors. Visible order does not necessarily mean internal consensus. International actors are watching closely, including Washington, Tel Aviv, and Gulf capitals. Iran plays a central role in regional security, from maritime routes in the Strait of Hormuz to its nuclear program at facilities such as Natanz. A transition period could produce 2 strategic responses. Project strength to deter external pressure, or exercise restraint until internal power is consolidated. The signal Iran sends in the coming days will matter far beyond its borders. Iran enters this moment under economic strain. The currency remains volatile. Inflation is high. Sanctions continue to constrain growth. Economic anxiety can quickly translate into political pressure, particularly during periods of uncertainty. Stability in the markets may become as important as stability in the streets. The supreme leader is not merely a political office. The system is built on the doctrine that a senior Islamic jurist should oversee the state. A successor must therefore secure three pillars of authority: religious credibility, elite consensus, security apparatus loyalty. If any of these are weakened, the architecture of power becomes more fragile. Three scenarios are now being considered: a rapid appointment that signals unity, a temporary leadership council if consensus falters, or an extended period of elite negotiation. The speed of the decision will be interpreted globally as a measure of regime resilience. This is not automatically a regime collapse moment, but it is a structural test. Can the Islamic Republic reproduce its power hierarchy without the man who has defined it for more than 3 decades? The coming days will reveal whether the system projects cohesion or whether fractures begin to surface. This is more than a leadership transition. It is a recalibration of power with consequences that will extend across the region.